All right, so I am now in Webflow, and in this video, as I explained, it's a time lapse of me coding a website for a client, Pediaplex, and it's a 4-hour total video that I sped up 10 times. And this video will be fantastic for anyone who is thinking of becoming a Webflow developer. And I just want to clarify, because sometimes when people say I'm a Webflow developer, sometimes it's implied that you do everything, which is usually the case. If you're a freelancer, for example, you're doing sales, you're doing design, you're doing development, you're doing handoff, you're doing client calls, you're doing communication, you're doing marketing, like all this stuff. But this video, you can really just see just the Webflow development stuff. So I'm not really going to talk about freelancing, but yeah, as you can see, I'm actually doing mobile responsiveness currently. I've actually completed the entire site in desktop and the client approved. So I'm just going in and making it mobile responsive. And this is towards the end of the project, obviously, because everything's already finalized. I just have to make it mobile responsive, fix up any broken links, do a quality review, and also optimize it for SEO. So you guys will get to see what that looks like as well, all in real time with a live client, like a real client. And I hope you guys found value in this video, but this is especially good value if you're thinking of a Webflow developer, because this is literally me doing it. Like you can see my face on the bottom left of the screen. It's not me faking or anything. Currently I do everything. So I designed and developed this and did all the client calls and stuff. But yeah, so right now, as you can see, because I've coded this site, I need to just fix up all the classes. Right now, I need to make a new CMS, a slider CMS. This is for the locations, because this specific business has 3 different locations. So in each of the location page, I wanted to make a gallery slider, but I wanted to make it using CMS, which I have to use a third-party FinSuite CMS. So that way the client can easily update it themselves, So that's the whole part, Like I really want to make websites that not only like look good, but function well, that deliver results, essentially better user experience, better conversions, but also very easy to edit in Webflow, obviously. So that's the main, point, and that's the value that I provide, which equates to, I guess, magic paper in this under sun world. But yeah, so right now, because I coded everything, so I already know the class name, class structure, and everything. But in mobile, typically you just need to change the sizing and you need to change the layout orientation. So for example, using grid or flexbox, if things just won't fit in smaller screens, obviously. So you can see me just doing these minor adjustments. Right now, that's what I'm doing. And then here in this specific blog page, I had to install the FinSuite filter and sort because right now you can only see 4 blog posts, but I'll be migrating like 100+ blog posts from their old site. So that's going to be fun. That's sarcastic, obviously. But yeah, I don't mind doing stuff like this. Again, I'm not quite sure if this is the best optimal use of my time. But doing this is very straightforward. Like I alluded to earlier, the hard part of this is actually coming up with the design, the homepage design. But once that got approved, doing this is very, very straightforward. So if you guys want to be a Webflow developer, and let's say you're turning a Figma design into Webflow, it's very straightforward. There's really nothing you need to know. Sometimes you just need to know the technique. Like if a client wants a specific thing, you have to know how to do that solution. And more often than not, if you want to become a good Webflow developer, or even just a intermediate one, not a beginner, is you have to start being very comfortable with custom code. Not writing your own custom code, but putting these third-party solutions like FinSuite, filter and sort, or all this random stuff. So that's something you need to do. But yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoying this video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this. And let me know if you have any questions, because I'm willing to answer any questions. Yeah, so even here, I'm styling the rich text element because I built this all in rich text. So I put a combo class or a class in the rich text element. So you have to style the different headings, like heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, paragraph text, dot points, images. I rounded out all the images, as you can see, and just make sure everything works and is responsive. Nothing is overflowing. And this video, I didn't really record everything, but even after this, I had to make sure the navbar is optimized. Then I went into my iPhone, or I checked this website on iPhone. And for any Webflow developers out there, for some reason, which makes sense, but it's kind of annoying. Like the most common browser is Chrome, right? And then there's also Safari. Like anyone who uses a Mac or an iPhone, you have Safari. And for some reason, sometimes the website looks different on Safari. And not looks different, but some minor things. For example, if you don't put like a width and a height, it just won't show. That's very, very annoying. So I have to just make sure all these small details are fixed. Here I am putting a script, the Elf site plugin for reviews that pull from their Google My Business page. And then here I'm just adding a button that says leave a review, which takes them to the Google My Business page because they have 3 different locations, as I mentioned earlier. So I had to like go in and make sure all these links work. Yeah, so again, making it mobile responsive, making sure all the links work. Right there, you just saw Webflow crashing. So this is very common. I'll just be very honest. I don't know, like it's okay. It doesn't happen often, but it's good. Like Webflow sometimes crashes, especially if you're using CMS and all these custom code and you press preview, it breaks. Right now, I'm putting the share functionality, and sometimes I just go into a previous project that I already created to make that functionality work, to copy that script over. Here, I'm just making sure all the links work, and making sure everything is in a symbol, make sure all the code makes sense. Like every website I make, I don't use div 1, div 2, div 3. Like I name everything properly. Maybe there's some spelling error. I just saw there's a spelling error in the class name. Not that it matters, not that the client's gonna know, but I literally, instead of writing pop-up class, I wrote poop-up class, like those additional O. Okay, I literally just saw that, lol. Of course, that's not a massive deal, but that's pretty funny. And then here, making sure that everything's mobile responsive. This is like a pop-up that happens when you hit intake form. And then, in desktop, it looks a certain way, but in mobile, you can't make it look that certain way because you don't have enough screen space, So these are the type of steps that you have to think of. And here, I'm just making sure all the pages link correctly because I copied and pasted their previous website content into a rich text element, which means that all the links go into their old website and not this new website. And just a pro tip, instead of putting a link like www.company.com/about, in Webflow, you can actually just link the page directly. So that way, when you change the page slug or the name of the page, you don't have to update the link. It does it automatic. So that's just a tip. And just making the breadcrumbs and just linking a lot of stuff. So really, this is what I'm doing. This is not a joke. I guess this is not the glamorous side you see, but I'm really just staring at a screen for 4 hours, if you think about it, just doing these changes. But it's cool. It's cool. I don't mind it currently. It does get repetitive, but this is definitely the task where like it's repetitive, but it's very straightforward. It's like you don't have to use that much of your brain power when you're doing this type of stuff. Just making it optimized. So just changing the sizes, make sure all the links work, make sure all the buttons work. And then just making sure it makes sense. And very chill. I listen to music in the background, which you can't hear because I put it on mute. And then just making sure all the forms work. In the forms is very interesting. So right now in the forms, you can put a placeholder text, and I put my name there as a placeholder text. This is the first time I've ever done it. I wonder if I can get away with it. Not that it's bad or anything, but I literally put my name in the placeholder text of the contact form. It's my first time ever doing it. So let's see if that actually goes live. This website was very fragile because it's a fairly big company because they have 3 locations and they're based in the US. So I had to make sure I had to double check, like extra careful of like coding everything and making sure nothing breaks in different breakpoints because they may be using a third-party plugin to increase the font size and stuff. Here I'm doing an error 404 page, which again, no one talks about. Now I get into the SEO optimization and I'll tell you guys what I do exactly. So I delete any unnecessary images or assets. Now I'm writing alt text for each of the items. I think I did some research. You can probably do this with AI now, or in the future we'll be doing this by AI, but I'm literally writing this handwritten, each image. And all the images are also compressed into WebP, and Webflow already has this functionality where you can do that, which is fantastic. I think I made the tutorial in the past. And obviously I didn't upload any crazy like high resolution images, like let's say 7,000 by 7,000 pixels. They're like limited to 1920 pixel max. So that is that. And yeah, no, I guess no one talks. No, I don't even know. Do people even do a time lapse of like a client work? I don't even know. But anyways, this is important. So this is important for SEO, and it's also, someone commented down, it's important to have alt description for images because of law. By law, you should do it. You can get sued or something. Here I'm doing the meta description and alt tag. So I'm actually pulling up on a separate screen, which you can't see, their old website, and I'm right clicking each page and I'm clicking view page source. And by doing that, you can actually copy the meta description and the title tag. And I'm actually just trying to like, make it pretty much exactly the same, to be very honest. And there's a really good guy named Lysander. I don't think he'll ever watch this video, but he's a fantastic at doing SEO. So he'll be doing this SEO for this specific site. Yeah, that's more like technical SEO. See, what I'm doing here is just basic SEO, which again, I don't even think some people even do. Like, and the thing is, you can get away with not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you just get away with not doing it. In fact, this whole thing you can get away with doing. Like, you can cut a lot of corners, but I try not to do that because in the future, I think it will come back and bite you. But again, I am human, so I'm sure I made mistakes and I'm sure it can be better, etc. But there is something to note that it's possible to cut corners because you are the Webflow developer and the client, for example, is not in this industry. So you can just, for example, not do something, and get away with it. But I try not to do that. I don't even know why I mentioned that, but I'm just being very honest. That's a possibility. You can cut corners. I personally don't think you should do that because you should just have a proper system at the start. So, and get in the habit of not doing that. I hope I don't do that in the future, cut corners. I mean, because when you start cutting corners, I think, in my opinion, I hope this doesn't happen to me, but maybe you do it because like you're just doing it for the money or something, and like you just want to be very efficient and get on to the next project. Hopefully I don't do that in the future, but like I'd rather just have a really good work that I'm proud of myself, and then that way you can use it as a case study and you can sleep well at night, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I hope you guys found this video helpful in some way. Leave a comment on what you think. This is not my typical video style. If you found it helpful, that's cool. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to see more of this, let me know.